Welcome to Optimal Game State. February is finished and we have another set of Games Workshop releases to look through. As always, I'm only looking at what GW calls the other games. The idea here is to appreciate the models and games that we can pick up today rather than waiting for another 2 weeks to get our hands on whatever the new stuff is. First up, we're starting with Legion's Imperialis, which I have been enjoying a lot. This month was a weird set of releases as we're still missing the attachments from the core rulebook. I was really expecting to see the tanks from the core box get separate release and the Aeronautica aircraft to get restocked, but instead we have the Great Slaughter, which is an expansion book. This did actually sell out on the day of release, as did the pack of cards. Now, it does look like GW had a hiccup with distribution, as most stores seem to have only received one copy of each, which was well under demand. I have noticed this week that on some of the online stores, they have been getting restocks, although not on the Warhammer store. So it does look like maybe it was a shipment intended for them that just got delayed. So if you did manage to grab them on the release day, check out your local store and see if they've got an update. There are 4 new boxes that released along with this. Both armies got their support pack, which has the gun emplacements, and for Legions also some dreadnoughts. The numbers are a little annoying though, as you really need to buy 2 boxes to kind of round out those units, and I have seen some suggestions that you probably want 3 to get units of 6 for the Total Auxilia. Anyway, it is what it is. Over to Necromunda. The Ironhead Prospectors got a champion reminding laser, who was the only model released this month. We do have the monthly Apocrypha though, which has the Orlok smuggling booze through the Ashways. As always, this has some extra rules, a story, and a mission. In this case, it is a wild snake run. Warcry has no box releases this month, but did get updated rules for the Flesh Eater courts, which, among other things, added new profiles for almost all of the new Age of Sigmar model releases. So, despite Warcry not getting a release, it actually got a massive release. We've just seen the Callous and Tall rules for Warcry go up, so it does look like GW have received the memo that Warcry players really just want the excuse to buy models. The Killteam didn't have any big release, but it did have the Scouts and the Striking Scorpions come out as separate boxes. Unlike the bigger boxes, these kits do not have the cards or rules for the Killteams. Instead, you get the rules online as they were released as PDFs. Now, previously when the boxes were split, we also had a separate purchase of the small rulebook that had the Killteams rules in it. It does look like GW is moving away from those, which honestly never seem to sell too well anyway, and instead is embracing the idea of releasing Killteam rules as a PDF. That avoids that horrible situation where the book was out of print, which meant people were less likely to pick up models. So I do think this is a good change. Into White Dwarf, there are a few interesting things this month. First was a variant for Underworlds, which lets you play the game without cards. It's a neat idea, but I do think it's a little underdeveloped, but I do love that they've done it. We have a small mini-campaign for Curse City, along with rules for using the Flesh Eater courts as bad guys. Again, great to see this being supported, but it's a shame that they didn't include the cards with it. So you do have pages that I guess you could photocopy. The Scout team for Killteam that we talked about earlier is also printed here. It's the exact same as PDF from what I can tell, but no harm in having it print. Overall, a decent month. Legion Imperialis still has tons of gaps in the line, but did get releases. Killteam and Warcry didn't really get releases, but they kind of did. Killteam got the physical boxes that didn't really add much, while Warcry got Warcry, or didn't get Warcry boxes, but did get a ton of content for the Flesh Eater courts. Necromunda only got 1 model, while Blood Bowl got none this month. I gave Warhammer Quest an update for the White Dwarf attention, but didn't do the same for Underworlds, which also does have a White Dwarf article. Underworlds will get its regular release next month, which has been pretty consistent, so they always get something every 2 months. We have seen some pretty fun previews recently, and we're due for more once Adepticon hits, which I think is sometime next month. When we're probably expecting to hear more about the new edition of Age of Sigmar. So that could be a lot of fun and is something to look forward to.
Thanks for making it all the way to the end. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Each week, I put up a new video talking about one of Games Workshop's specialist games. The goal is always to try and make the best possible 2-player experience. If this is something you'd find interesting, please subscribe to the channel and comment to let me know what you'd like to see in future.